Welcome, this is Jeff from Studio 41 Productions, and I'm here today to do something I've never done before actually. I'm going to give a retrospective look to the entire Mass Effect franchise. Now I did do a retrospective a bit on the Call of Duty franchise, but I'm probably going to end up redoing that entire video and just breaking them up into individual segments. But I know you're not here for Call of Duty, you're here for Mass Effect. So, in the year of our Lord, 2007, we had what could be considered one of the greatest years of video gaming ever. And it also happens to be when the very first Mass Effect game came out. So without further ado, let's take a look at the original Mass Effect. Mass Effect 1 is a game that I've grown to like a bit more than I used to. I played it once in trying to make the perfect save file, and I really didn't like it that much at the time. It could have just been because I rushed through it a bit though. I played it again though on PC, and I really liked it a lot more the second time around. I really got a hang for the RPG elements like customizing weapons and whatnot. If you play this game and Mass Effect 2 back to back, you definitely notice the difference between the two games. In terms of RPG elements, that is. This game does have its flaws though. One of them being that 95% of the time you are fighting Geth. Granted, there are different versions of Geth, but still Geth nonetheless. One variant of Geth that can burn in hell are Geth Stalkers. Yes, they die in 3 hits, but hitting them is the problem. It might just be my bad luck, but man, these bastards never stay still for me. Mass Effect also is beloved by many for its use of the Mako tank. The Mako is used several times in this game, and while many people love its sequences, I found them to honestly be a bit tedious. This mainly is on Virmire, where you fight many Geth armatures. The Mako can do many things, but taking hits is definitely not one of them. BioWare definitely took a lot of inspiration for this game from their previous game Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic. One of these being the light and dark meter, or in Mass Effect this is known as the Paragon and Renegade system. Paragon is basically being the good guy, while Renegade, you kind of are a dick. I never understood why this was in the game though, since if you choose Renegade dialogue options, you can really get screwed over on important choices. I will do this many times, so here's another. Witcher 3 does this right by basically having everything available to you right from the start. If you want to save someone's butt, then do it. If you want to kill them or tell them off, then go right ahead. The story of Mass Effect 0 is the biggest draw for many people. Basically, Commander Shepard and his crew discover that a race of sentient robots known as the Reapers are about to return and wipe out all intelligent life in the galaxy. A council specter known as Saren is also being controlled by the Reaper known as Sovereign to help open a portal for the rest of the Reapers to arrive. The Geth also are helping the Reapers, but for a different reason. This is explained more in Mass Effect 2. Mass Effect 1 is a damn good game. I have heard it described as KOTOR with third-person shooting mechanics, and really, I can't put it much better than that. While the Paragon Renegade system is a bit different from Knights of the Old Republic, and not in a good way, it is really the only big fault I can give this game. It's a fine game, and you definitely should play it. Alright, so obviously Mass Effect 1 was a great success, and without a doubt, there's going to be a sequel in the making. Well, Mass Effect 1, believe it or not, was actually published by Microsoft. Mass Effect 1 was a Microsoft exclusive. It has never been released on PlayStation or, Wii or anything, obviously. But EA ended up buying out BioWare and basically taking them under control. So, with the next game in the franchise would be multi-platform, and here we are, Mass Effect 2. So imagine that if Microsoft had told EA to screw off and Mass Effect stayed a 360 and PC exclusive. That is easily one of the biggest what-ifs in gaming history if you ask me. Mass Effect 2, you may know, was my first game in the franchise. I bought it without even really knowing what the heck it even was. I wouldn't have had it any other way though, as I've played through the game at least 5 or so times, and have played every piece of DLC as well. The story starts off with Commander Shepard's ship being blown to bits by an unknown ship, and Shepard being killed as well. Shepard's body is recovered, though, by the organization known as Cerberus, and it is miraculously brought back to life. I really think this starting segment, though, was used by an excuse by BioWare to let you be able to customize Shepard, to make him whoever the heck you wanted him to be. This is about as far as the RPG elements go in this game, though, because when you first go to level up your character, you will see a tiny fraction of skills in this game compared to what was in Mass Effect 1. One gimmick in this game, though, that actually happens a little ways in, is the loyalty missions for your crew members. The game explains that you should do these to make sure your crew members' minds are clear for the final fight. It really just makes sure they don't die in the final fight, too. This game by far is the best crew members in the franchise. This game is where I dubbed Shepard, Zaid, and Grunt as the A-Team. Literally, I rolled through this game using this team. This also is the team that has the best dialogue too, which overall is great in this game anyway. A shining star in this game, though, is Joker, the pilot of the Normandy. Voiced by Seth Green, you know he's funny already, but he steals the show in Mass Effect 2. His back and forth conversations with EDI are always hilarious, and many times in the game on the Normandy you can walk up behind him and get a random line said by him, and all of them are funny as well.
You know what pisses me off? Calling this the cockpit. Alliance ships have bridges. Asari have cockpits. Oh wait, no they don't. Sorry, that was supposed to go to my earpiece.
One of the most obvious changes in this game is the change to combat. Instead of keeping with the infinite ammo of ME1, you now have to use normal ammo, and let me just say, playing this game after Mass Effect 1 and seeing this change, it's just flat out stupid. I have no idea why BioWare decided this was a good choice to make. My guess is that this game has way more action in it, but even then it still doesn't make a whole lot of sense. There also is no weapon customization in this game either. This is something that blows big time considering in Mass Effect 1, I basically made a godly assault rifle that could kill Geth before they could even look at me. The story overall in this game is amazing. There's constant tension between Shepard and the head of Cerberus, the Elusive Man. This is assuming you do Paragon in this game and you have to, if you want your whole team to even survive. The payoff is great in this story though too. The DLC expansions in this game kick ass too. The Shadow Broker with the return of Liara is great, and the Alpha Relay DLC is one of the most shocking pieces of DLC I've ever played. Despite its drawbacks from Mass Effect 1, Mass Effect 2 is one of my favorite games of all time. It's on one of the few games I've actually have over 1,000 achievement points on, and any game that I play through 5 or more times is basically a lock for being one of my favorites. Alright, so with Mass Effect 2 out of the way, well, you know, it's always better to end the franchise and when it's still on top than rather than, releasing another game and just ending up pissing off everyone by absolutely executing it horribly wrong and whatnot. So, with that being said, it brings me great pleasure to say that this retrospective is over and...
Surprise, motherfucker!
Oh, shit. Oh, God. Oh, God. Gee, it's not opening. Oh, crap. Gee, what do you want from me? I'll do anything, please.
I'm Commander Shepard, and this is my favorite store on the Citadel.
You're not Commander Shepard, you're a cover of a bad video game with Commander Shepard on the cover. Who are you really?
Who I am is not important. You, on the other hand, are gonna sing the praises of me on high for all to hear.
I'm not gonna. I was already gonna review you, but you don't deserve to be reviewed. Everybody knows Mass Effect 3 is freaking terrible.
But Jeff, didn't you see how well I reviewed? IGN gave me a 9.5, and my Metacritic score is pretty damn good too.
I don't care that you reviewed well. You got a 9.5 from IGN, and every freaking banner and picture I think that was ever made for Mass Effect 3's marketing was on it. Your Metacritic user review score is something like a 4.
That doesn't matter. the consumers are complete and total idiots. Mass Effect 3 is a work of art that was just too high for them to even understand. Now take a review of my game and tell all of its glory.
You want me to review you? Alright, I'll review you. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Mass Effect 3. It was March of 2012. I was stuck in school watching it all unfold. Amazing review scores of Mass Effect 3, editions of the game being sent into space and praying that one could land nearby. It was glorious. Then I played the game. Now note, I actually played the demo of this game and I thought it was okay. I was more interested in seeing how the Reapers managed to get to Earth so fast, considering I had destroyed the Alpha Relay in Mass Effect 2. Everything went to hell quick, both in-game and in playing the game. Let's start with the story first. There are more plot holes in this game than in Sonic 06. Okay, maybe not that many. The first is that it's never actually explained how the Reapers get into the solar system. You destroyed the Alpha Relay? Nope, doesn't matter. You kept the collector base in Mass Effect 2? Never referenced. You destroyed it? Might be referenced once. But it gets worse. I can explain in 2 words. Kai Lang. What is the point of this guy? This guy actually exists in Mass Effect 2. Why wasn't he on our team in Mass Effect 2? Why was Shepard even resurrected in the first place? This guy is literally a walking plot hole. Also, if you do the Renegade interrupt when he tries to kill you, you break his sword simply by smacking it. Note that his sword blocks bullets. Oh, but let's do this. Yeah, let's get into that ending. Yes, we are going there. Imagine making every perfect choice in this game, in the 2 games prior to it, making sure everyone lives, doing every loyalty mission in Mass Effect 2. Now imagine it all being taken out back and shot in the head. That previous sentence was a better ending than the ending of Mass Effect 3. Who the hell thought the ending in this game was okay? How did this not even get realized and this was shipped? Someone at BioWare had to have noticed that player choice was what this franchise was built upon, and then it was all taken away.
Now, wait. Hold on a second here. I remember you saying something about liking the multiplayer in this game and actually thinking it was pretty good. Am I right?
What? The multiplayer in this game? As much as it pains me to say about anything in this game being good, the multiplayer actually is alright. But it didn't come without its own freaking controversy and lies. Well, at least half lies. Yes, this game has multiplayer, and it is damn near the only bright spot in this game. The multiplayer in this game is basically 10-round horde mode, which sounds totally unoriginal, but actually has some substance. One thing being that there are tons of classes to play and unlock from all the different races in the Mass Effect universe. The game does also have microtransactions, and since you get all of your stuff from chests. But they actually are very easy to unlock just from getting points from the multiplayer. But about the controversy I mentioned. Before this game came out, many people were worried about the multiplayer and single player being linked and people being forced to play the multiplayer. Well, it was announced that multiplayer wouldn't be necessary to get the full single player experience. Technically, that isn't a lie. But you see, there is this thing called galactic readiness in Mass Effect 3. This is linked to something in the single player known as war assets. You see, in the single player mode, you build these war assets up, and they all have a point value that pulls, and when that number reaches high enough, you can begin the assault to free Earth. Well, you see, this galactic readiness number affects your war assets number. When the galactic readiness number is at 50%, you will only get 50% of the total war assets number. You can only then increase the readiness number by guess what? Playing multiplayer! But you want to know the best thing about the war assets, huh? Do ya? Well, war assets don't even matter! As soon as you hit the magic number for the freeing of Earth, you are done. It doesn't even matter if you find every single battleship in the galaxy or every spare troop too. You could max out that meter, and Shepard will still crash on Earth and have to go through the whole final sequence to get to the Citadel. This of all things probably bothers me the most about Mass Effect 3. Even up there with the ending, I'm not sure. But the war assets thing was handled so poorly, it's absolutely unfathomable how a company as freaking experienced as BioWare actually screwed this up. War assets could have been possibly the best thing in this game. But instead, even finding them is freaking limited because of the stupid Reapers who are able to sense your special reading of scanning planets. But at the same time, these super sentient robots can't even detect that you're using a stealth drive. It's so idiotic. It's another plot hole, actually. It's just, if you gathered so many war assets, you should have been able to freaking just not mop the floor with the Reapers, but at least it should have changed. It's just so bad. And the two are actually linked in war assets and ending, since the war assets lead up to the ending. So there you go. That's how freaking bad this game is in terms of the war assets and the ending. Another problem a lot of people, myself included, take issue with in this game is the characters. The characters in this game are just bad. James Vega is a repressed homosexual. Oh yeah, look who voice acts him. Ashley is a bitch, and almost none of the awesome characters in Mass Effect 2 are back. Grunt is relegated to a cameo mission. Zaid's voice actor unfortunately died, so that wasn't really their fault. Dane was doomed before this game even started, but ends up still being killed by Kai Lang. Hell, even Legion is MIA for most of this game. It's like BioWare wanted to completely forget what made Mass Effect 2 amazing, and that was the characters. I mean, Joker doesn't even give any random funny lines in this game. Just face it, Mass Effect 3, you're a travesty. You're basically the dress rehearsal for games like Battlefield 4 and Destiny. Games made to be a quick cash grab and take advantage of the consumers. Basically because they have good faith in what used to be a good game development studio. Basically the BioWare being like Bungie.
Whoa, wait a second here. As bad as Destiny?
Alright, I'm sorry. I may have overreacted. You might not be as bad as Destiny. At least you had good DLC, at least. This sword running doesn't matter. You're a freaking terrible game. Get the heck out of here. Why are you even here?
Alright, Jeff. You win this round. But mark my words. One day, you will like me. You haven't seen the last of me.
Thank God that's over. Fantastic.